Kitsune Fruit is one of the strongest, or if not the strongest fruit in Blox Fruits. But it wasn't always like this. Back then, when Kitsune just got released, everyone was skeptical. No one thought that Kitsune was really broken or really something outstanding. Everyone just thought, okay, it's an above average fruit. But nowadays, you can see everyone using Kitsune, all the pros have it. Even like if someone starts Blox Fruits, they just want a Kitsune fruit and the hype is crazy for Kitsune. So how did this happen? Kitsune went from just an above average fruit to something like the best PvP fruit in just a matter of time. How did a fruit that received no buffs, no nerfs, and it still rose in popularity? Well, there isn't really a specific answer to this, because Kitsune has various factors that allowed it to become the best fruit. Well, one of the main factors is that people just did not know how good Kitsune will be, because back then, Blox Fruits PVP meta was mostly Doe, Awakened Doe users, even Dark was still in the meta, Rumble, or even Leopard. Yeah, Leopard was there as well. But those fruits are fruits that have specific niches. Like Doe has amazing combo potential, Leopard has amazing spam, and Dark and Rumble were more like sword main fruits, because yeah, people use swords as well. They still do. And that was the main thing. Now Kitsune here didn't really fall into any specific niche, because Kitsune had speed buffs, it had weird dashes that were really fast, and it was sitting in a place between combo potential and spam, because Kitsune C, Kitsune Z, Kitsune X, these are the only moves Kitsune really had, because the transformation for this fruit wasn't really that useful in many people's eyes, because the moves were tougher to hit, that's why. So people were confused, because do you use this fruit like a spam build, something like Leopard, or do you use it more of as a combo build, something like Doe? Or was it a sword main build, because this fruit worked fine with swords, because the amount of speed it gives made it similar to something like how a portal gives speed to its sword uses, and the decent combo starters that it gave, because Kitsune C, Kitsune Z, these are okay combo starters for a sword main, so it really didn't fall into any specific niche. And that is because Kitsune wasn't really like any older fruit. It was like a completely new one instead, like a fruit that completely changes the game's PvP mechanics, because back then there were no fruit that gave you weird sort of dashes. So Kitsune just inventing a whole new type of dash was like fairly new, and maybe a little too new for people to even know its potential. The second most important thing is probably because the Kitsune transformation was fairly weak. Now look, it was really good for running away, because look, Kitsune transformation back then had insane speed. Like you could literally just fly away by geppoing, and just with pilot helmet, this made you into like, you just were faster than light. That's how fast you were. So like people just kept using it for running away, and then eventually it did get nerfed, the speed, because yeah, it was like really chaotic. But the thing is, without the running away part, the Kitsune transformation was actually pretty underwhelming, because look, the transformation had Kitsune Z, a short ranged move that is like a dash. If you land it, then you do decent damage, but literally all of the moves were dashes. Kitsune F is a dash, Kitsune Z is a dash, Kitsune X is a dash. The only ranged and good move Kitsune transformation had was Kitsune C. And this doesn't really resemble any other fruit transformations, because something like Yeti, let's say, it has a lot of spammy moves like long range, big hitboxes, and something like Leopard as well. Fast speed, big hitbox, big damage, spam, stuff like that. But Kitsune didn't really fall into any of those archetypes. It was a weird transformation, because it needed aim, it needed exact move hitting, and like you couldn't even combo with it, because the thing is, how are you gonna start a combo with a transformation? You can't really use your guns, so no soul guitar. So yeah, it was weird, and people thought this was pretty weak, and so did I actually. I too thought this was weak. But well, about Kitsune, nowadays no one even uses its transformation, because the base fruit is just way too strong. It is like the Kitsune transformation, the only use it has is running away. But people did not know that back then the transformation fruits were really only used for the transformation. Like if you're using Yeti, are you gonna use Yeti untransformed? Well, some might for the fun of it, but when you think of Yeti, you think of a transformed Yeti. right? But now when you think of a Kitsune, you don't really think of a transformed Kitsune. You think of those pros using Kitsune Sanguine and Yama just flying here and there, right? Exactly. Now, the third and probably the most important part of this is that the meta just changed. Back then, the meta was one-shot combos. The best one-shot combo, like you were here and there searching on YouTube for, oh, Quake one-shot combo, oh, Toshita one-shot combo. Like one-shot combos were like the beast back then. If you know, you know, like Ice, Acidum Rifle and Soulkin. If you know that build, like you're an OG. But like those were the meta. The one-shot combo thing was the meta back then. But nowadays, the thing is, really, if you want to one shot, then it has become so easy that everything is a one shot combo. Literally, if you like use anything, the fact that every like there's a gun that has stun, there's a sword that has stun, and there's fruits that have amazing stun. So like you're just gonna keep on stunning the enemy once you land a move. So everything is literally a one shot combo. So there is no hype for one-shot combos anymore, and that's the main reason why one-shot combo meta just faded out. So fruits like Dough, Rumble, okay, well, Rumble is still really good, but that's for another video. Fruits like Duck, Sand, these just really went out of the meta. Especially Ice, that just died off. And the reason is one-shot meta just died off because everything is a one-shot. Because Blox Fruits kept adding broken swords and guns like Soul Guitar, which has huge stuns, and swords like Yama, Curse Dual Katana, Triple Katana rework, and just so many. Spiky Trident as well. These are just swords that allow for huge combo potential. So like the hype for one-shot combos just died off because of these. Because look, one-shot combos aren't really hard to like perform, right? You can just make a one-shot combo with like almost anything nowadays. So that's why. And because of this meta shifting from one-shot combos, the hype dying out, so people started to look for other things like speed, things like tanking. That's why a Diamond was starting to get used, because Diamond was an amazing tank fruit and it had decent speed as well because of the M1s. And then came the rise of Kitsune, because Kitsune provided amazing speed, and paired with that glitch, the little Kitsune fly glitch, bro, people were just flying here and there the map, bro. And that's the main reason why Kitsune just started gaining popularity, because of 1 or 2, 3 people who just started dominating with it. So people just went, okay, maybe Kitsune isn't that bad. Okay, maybe Kitsune is actually super broken, and that's how it all started. The rise of Kitsune. Okay, if you're watching to this far, then thank you for watching. This is a new style of video that I tried to make, so let me know in the comments if you liked it. And make sure to like and subscribe because you watched this far, and I thank you a lot. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.